And welcome back, guys, to another installment of Juan on Juan. It's your host, Juan C, aka Exclusivity. And today we're going to have another bullish or bearish report for week 3 of the preseason. We had the Miami Dolphins facing the Cincinnati Bengals. We had some good, we had some bad. Today we're going to be starting off with the bad, so then we can go ahead and move on to the good, because with the good, I'm going to highlight 3 players and show you 3 of their best plays that I feel demonstrated why maybe they deserve a spot in the roster, maybe practice squad.
There goes Mike Gesicki. My goodness.
I'm OG, y'all new to the game.
Powers in for the Miami touchdown. Patrick's going to take a deep shot for Preston Williams. What a start. Tua down the middle. Picked off by Byron Jones. Dolphins score.
On the bearish side to start, we're going to have, for me, it was an obvious player. It was Larnell Coleman. This is somebody that I saw kind of struggle through the game, rely on other players to help him with chips and blocks, where he just didn't look like he could do it himself. Maybe that had something to do with the injury, but ultimately he is placed on injured reserve, so he's not eligible to be on the squad this year. The next guy I'm going to shout out is going to be Jamal Perry. Jamal Perry is a guy that, for all intents and purposes, he goes and gets to where the ball is. He's close enough to make the play. His problem is always that last 10% where it's making the play, making the tackle, making the interception. It's difficult. There was a play against Trent Taylor where it was a fluke bounce, and he's going up the sideline, and you're expecting your safety, your last line of defense, to make the tackle, bring him down, and a 5'7", 172-pound wide receiver is trucking over your safety. So it was definitely a concerning effort from him. Maybe doesn't even make the squad at this point. And then the last one, I'll say bearish, just because it was an uneven performance for as many snaps as he got. I think no one played every single defensive snap. To start the game, and I posted it on Twitter, there was a play where he was in trips coverage to the left, and he had the outside guy, and he was playing off, but he just never fought through traffic. He never showed energy, tenacity, or just a want to go and make the play. But you've seen Nick Needham coming from the most inside guy and coming off of his guy, coming in to make a play and showing that fire, showing the want to make the tackle after the play's already been made. But it was just concerning for me to see that. I will say that as the game progressed, especially after the second half, you saw some adjustments from Noah. He did seem try to make up for it with a little more aggressive play. But it's difficult, you see like these hot and cold flashes just in one game, to whereas as the game was finishing, that PBU was amazing. I'm not looking for an interception or anything like that. The only thing I will say is that you would hope that he's the type of player to one day get over that hump, especially because he played wide receiver. But the ball skills with him sometimes seems to be the most lacking aspect of his game, to where when he's trying to actually make the play when the ball's in the air, is just something's not clicking there. Something's not working or computing, to where his mind and his body aren't connected at the same time. I don't know if you can coach that out of him, but it's interesting to note nonetheless. And jumping in right into the bullish side, we're going to start off with Kirk Merritt. So one thing you like to see here about Kirk is just do a quick little hitch and then go out of his way to make a play. He fights and claws his way almost to make a touchdown. Later on in the game, he did make a touchdown. Unfortunately for him, it feels like it's going to be a numbers game where he might not make it in, or probably won't make it in. And it's unfortunate because as much as we would like him to be on the practice squad, other teams have watched this and have seen him ball out. And it's gotten to the point now where he'll probably get picked up by another team if we try to sneak him into the practice squad. Maybe the Will Fuller thing allows him the ability to stick around a little longer, for maybe a week, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Another wide receiver who stood out to me is going to be Malcolm Perry. again with the numbers, but still, this guy did nothing but ball. Here we're going to see him on an over route and do 36 yards, completely changing the field. And that to me is something that Malcolm Perry has the ability to do. And if he had more opportunities, and now coming into his second season, I feel like he could stand out a little more. He's a do-everything guy. He can play running back, quarterback, wide receiver, punt returner, kick returner. And look, by all means, he had a good game. 4 catches, 69 yards. Earlier in the game, I think it was the first quarter, he had himself in the goal line where the play was designed to get him open. He got himself open, and the defender had to hold him. I think it was either a pass interference or a hold. I can't remember which one. But you see the play, you see the dynamic aspect of him. I just don't know if, again, with the numbers, he's going to be something that's somebody's going to be looking outside, looking in. At the moment, we'll see. Again, another wide receiver, and our guys at 3YPC have made it perfectly clear that we kind of expect them to be picked up fairly quickly, potentially for somebody like the New England Patriots who we face in week 1. So would not be out of the realm of the possibilities for me. And the last player on my bullish report is going to be Jared Dokes. I like him here when he made a quick jump to make the first defender miss and go ahead and get enough to get a first down. He's not going to be the speed guy. He's obviously going to be a power back. But he is somebody who, out of the 3 backs who were out there, Jared Dokes, Jordan Scarlett, Patrick Laird, he was the one who stood out the most. He obviously got the most carries because he had the hot hand. He ended up with 16 carries, 56 yards, and 2 TDs. He showed a little bit that maybe he could play Malcolm Brown's role if they decided to maybe cut Malcolm Brown or maybe he gets injured somehow. But Jared Dokes definitely showed a little more of why they drafted him in the 7th round. I do want to shout out that after he scored his first touchdown, the very next play he was on kickoff coverage. So it's something that he's definitely going to have to work on, and if he does make this team or if he does make the Patriots squad, he has a little something. You know, we could work with it and potentially see something down the line with him. And that's going to be basically it for my bullish or bearish report for week 3 of the preseason with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Score, who cares? It's preseason. Next time we'll be talking, we'll be live.
Dolphins score!